Have you ever wondered how you could possibly explain the entire essence of a religion, like in a single conversation? Well, today, we're diving into one of the most incredible stories in Islam, the Hadith of Jibril. And trust me, this isn't just some old story. It is a complete masterclass in faith, delivered in the most unexpected way you can imagine. All right, so here's our game plan. We're going to start with a pretty intense theological debate that kind of kicks the whole thing off. Then we'll meet a super mysterious visitor whose questions become literally a blueprint for the faith, covering Islam, Iman, and Ihsan. We'll even get a little peek at some signs of the end times, all leading up to this mind-blowing reveal of who this teacher actually was. So, you might think our story starts with the Prophet, peace be upon him, but it actually begins with a scholar named Yahya ibn Yamar, and he's got a big problem. He's in the city of Basra, and this new, troubling idea is spreading. Some people are starting to deny the concept of taqdir, or divine will, basically saying that everything just happens by chance.
Now for Yahya, this wasn't just some, philosophical disagreement. No, this struck at the very heart of faith. So what does he do? He and a friend decide to go on Hajj to Mecca with one mission in mind: find one of the Prophet's companions and get a straight answer. And as luck would have it, their journey leads them right to Abdullah, the son of the legendary Umar ibn al-Khattab.
When they laid out their concerns, Abdullah's response was, whoa, immediate and just so powerful. He said that if one of these people spent an entire mountain of gold in charity, it would mean absolutely nothing to God without belief in taqdir. It's not optional. It is the bedrock upon which every single good deed stands or falls.
So, to really drive this point home, Abdullah tells him a story he heard directly from his father Umar. And this story, well, it doesn't just answer their question about fate, it basically lays out the entire architecture of the religion, and it all starts with a very mysterious visitor.
Umar sets the scene. He's sitting with the Prophet Muhammad, when all of a sudden, this man just appears out of nowhere.
And his appearance was just perfect. His clothes were impossibly, dazzlingly white.
And his hair was the deepest, darkest black. The contrast must have been incredible.
But here's the weird part. There wasn't a speck of dust on him, no sign that he'd been on a long journey. He looked totally fresh. And yet, not a single one of the companions had ever seen him before. They were all thinking the same thing. Who is this guy?
So this man walks right up to the Prophet, sits down so close that their knees are touching, puts his hands on his own thighs, and just starts asking questions. But these aren't just any questions. These are the questions, the ones that would end up defining the very structure of Islam itself.
His first question was straight to the point. "O Muhammad, tell me about Islam." So the Prophet lays out the 5 pillars, right? The declaration of faith, prayer, charity, fasting, and a pilgrimage. The key thing to get here is that this level, Islam, is all about the outward actions, the physical things you do. And then the stranger says, "You have spoken the truth." Which is odd, right? He's confirming the answer as if he's the teacher, which just made the companions even more confused.
Then the visitor goes deeper. He moves from action to belief, asking, okay, now tell me about Iman, or faith.
The Prophet responds with the 6 articles of faith. And here it is, you guys, the brilliant full circle moment. Check out that last item, belief in taqdir, divine decree. The very thing that started this whole story is cemented right here as an essential, non-negotiable part of a Muslim's inner belief system. And again, the man says, "You've spoken the truth," before asking his third and final question. This one goes to the highest spiritual level. "And now, tell me about Ihsan." The Prophet's answer here is so profound. It defines spiritual excellence. It's the state of mind where you worship God as if you can literally see him. Because even if you can't, you know with absolute certainty that he sees you. You could say Ihsan is the soul that breathes life into the body of Islam and the heart of Iman. So, after defining the 3 levels of the religion, the visitor switches gears and asks about the future, about the final hour. The Prophet replies that he doesn't know any more about it than the person asking. So the man asks for its signs instead. The Prophet gave 2 really specific, really symbolic signs. The first one is that a slave girl will give birth to her mistress, which is often seen as a sign of social collapse, where everything's turned upside down and children disrespect their own parents. The second sign? Seeing barefoot, destitute shepherds competing in building tall buildings, a wild image of a world where the poorest in society suddenly get massive wealth and just use it to show off. After hearing all this, the mysterious man just gets up and leaves.
Umar said he waited around for a while, and you can just imagine the companions buzzing with confusion. The perfect clothes, the expert questions, confirming the Prophet's answers. What was that all about?
After a few moments, the Prophet turns to Omar and asks him straight up, "Oh, Omar, do you have any idea who that was?" And Omar, just like everyone else, had no clue, and he just said, "Allah and his messenger know best."
And then, the big reveal. The Prophet announces, "That was Jibril, the Archangel Gabriel. He came to you to teach you your religion." The whole thing, the questions, the strange behavior, it was all a divinely planned, interactive lesson, orchestrated by God to be unforgettable.
So, this amazing lesson gives us this complete, three-tiered framework for our faith. It all starts with Islam, the outer actions that give our life structure. That is fueled by Iman, the inner beliefs that give those actions meaning, and both are perfected by Ihsan, that constant, beautiful awareness of God. Because this one hadith lays out the entire blueprint so perfectly, a lot of scholars actually call it Sunnah, the mother of all prophetic traditions.
You know, this story is such a powerful reminder that the most profound lessons can show up in the most unexpected ways. It wasn't a formal lecture. It was a conversation, a divine class disguised as a simple Q&A. And it really leaves you wondering, doesn't it? What kind of extraordinary lessons might be waiting for us, hidden in our own seemingly ordinary day-to-day encounters?